Alrighty, y'all. So I just had a guy that actually came and bought one or two of the mowers I had from last year. He had, believe it or not, 4 of them. Not that I sold them. I think one of them I sold him last year, and neither of them ran. His son lives in the mountains of North Carolina, and I don't know what he does to the mowers while they're up there, but it seems like they can't keep one running. This is one of those 4 that he let me just keep after I actually got 2 of them fixed in a span of about 15 minutes. One of them needed a pull rope, and one of them needed a primer bulb. They had put, it was a similar style engine, they had put the wrong primer bulb on it here, and it had the one with the hole in it, so it wasn't pulling gas up after he primed it. Put a primer bulb on it, seemed to work great, and then like I said, the other one I put a pull rope on it, seemed to fix that too. And so he let me have this one just as payment, quote unquote, which is fine with me, because if we look here, this is the deck that I need to put that 5.5 horsepower side shaft engine on, which is going to be awesome, even though the deck itself is in decent shape. It has a repowered 3.5 horsepower engine on it, and I don't know what year it's made in. Oh, this is an older one, so it's going to be on this side, I'm pretty sure. It's actually really, really light, but y'all can look at that. It looks like it's right there. It looks like this engine, or at least this engine cover, was around 1978. The engine itself might be older, seeing that it's painted white. This will go on something else that I have. I think I have a 22-inch Murray deck under the house that this will fit perfectly on. And I'll have to figure out some way to stop the spark, except apart from this grounding bolt. But yeah, here's my 5.5 horsepower engine's deck. Gonna work on it and get it on there, and that's what this video will consist of, so stay tuned. So I'm not gonna put gas in it, but before I take this engine off of this deck, I'm going to see if it'll crank up. So let me set this down and throw some starter fluid in it and see. So yeah, we've definitely got what seems to be a good engine here. So that one will go on another deck. So let's get to work. All right, old engine is off. Again, all I had to do was take the blade off and take those 3 bolts off, because there was no safety cable or anything for that engine. Probably gonna try and find a safety cable for this one. I have the spring that I can use for this instead of this thing that got rigged up here, because I know the safety cutoff still works. But that right there is a beautiful thing. Got the deck that will work perfectly with this side shaft 5.5 horsepower. So now all that's left to do is to put the blade on. I'm going to mount the engine first with the putting the bolts back on. Put the blade on. I'm going to put fresh oil in it and fresh gas in it, fire it up, make sure that it still runs. I don't think I'll have time to do that today, so I'll get it first thing tomorrow and we'll have a running mower. So I've got it mounted on the mower now. Put the 3 mounting bolts in, put the blade on, and it fits great like I suspected. And now just to do a little weight savings on it, because I'm not really going to put the starter or the electric start on this, you know, this cheap deck. Since I don't have the battery especially, I'm just going to take these 2 starter bolts out, 1 and then 2 right there. Save a few pounds and just turn it into regular pull start push mower, and should be pretty good. I'll take that off and put oil and gas in it, and I'll start it back up for y'all. So I sometimes get a little carried away with, you know, taking stuff off of mowers and not really explaining. So I'll just do a quick explainer of what I did to get to the starter. There's all you have to do is take the beauty cover off there and take off the gas tank, and it's very easy on these type mowers that have the carburetor, that are the older Quantum type Briggs & Stratton flatheads. It's just 3 5/16 inch bolts here that are holding the top of the gas tank on, and if it's fastened properly, there's going to be a 3/8 inch bolt down here that's going to have a rubber, like a rubber bushing there to keep the plastic tank off the engine, to keep it from vibrating. And all I had to do was take those off, pull the gas tank forward. I didn't even have to take the gas line off to get that starter off. And then again, this beauty cover here that goes on the gas tank, this one here is a little older. It just fits right in there, and it's 2 screws, and that's all it is to get it on. Give a quick synopsis of what I did. In addition to what y'all seen so far, I put the air filter on it. Obviously I put the engine on this deck because of the side shaft. I have actually put a different blade on it and sharpened it, so it should be good to go. I don't think that blade's bent. We're gonna find out when we start it up. And actually I couldn't find any pull handle to work, so I actually kind of like the mechanism this guy used to turn the mower off, so I'm gonna keep it, and we'll give this thing a start. Kicking up a lot of dust, but it runs great. It's not vibrating. Side shaft will turn, but I'll just probably leave it like it is. So not a bad deal there. Another good $50 mower. I'll clean it up and give you all a final start. So got her all cleaned up here. When I washed it off, even though I just washed it off with the hose, it still looks like somebody had already put some spray paint on it since the paint was coming off, and it took off a little bit of paint, but you know, for a $50 mower, nobody really cares at that price point, especially with how good this thing runs. I'll give it a start and show you all that it's good. Definitely one of the best running ones I've had come through here. These Quantum engines, they don't like to give up, so maybe got the throttle control. So yeah, it runs good. It should be gone by the weekend for 50 bucks. The engine that came off of it, I'm planning on putting on a Murray bicycle wheel deck that I have under the house. It's got a little bit of frame damage, but I think I can be able to work around it to make it work. So that one's probably going to come down the pipe pretty soon as well. But for now, got another good one here, and a 2-day turnaround or 3-day turnaround on the side shaft, going from not having a deck to having a deck to having it going, which is always good. I'll keep y'all posted on the next video, and thank y'all for watching.